Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Coffee Corner. Today is your episode 66, and today we have our special guest, Bob. So let's get started. I I've been trying to figure out what kind of topic I want to do, and sometimes I have ideas. Sometimes my ideas just kind of like really just flashed, and then and it's gone. So it was very difficult for me to really be organized, and I'm not a very organized person when it comes to doing things like this. I'm more like a spontaneous kind of person. So I was trying to think about what to do, and then this came up. I feel like last week or something. I think one of you asked me about advice for young women when they start to find a job, or when they start to look for a job, or when they start their job. And then I was thinking about what I can say, or based on my own experience, is there anything I like? Is there any tips or advice I can give to you guys? But to be quite honest, I'm not really experienced about that, and I don't really, sometimes I don't feel like I'm a woman, if you know what I mean. And then I was trying so hard to think about what I can say, or what I can tell or help with my own experience. And then I came up with this idea about attitude. I have to start really like when I was a child, when I was really young. My parents uh, treated me equally, if you know what I mean. But I still remember when I was probably like uh, 7 or 8. Um, we had a mice or rat, maybe probably a rat, in the house. So my dad, I am scared of my mice to death. Like I can't even think about it. If I see a video, or if I see a image of that, and I would definitely have a nightmare, and I scream in my dream. So anyway, I was really scared of this rat in my house, and my dad told me to catch it. Or I think it was more like he was trying to get me to help him to catch it. The problem is, of course, I was really scared. I wasn't able to really, calm myself down and do the work. And my dad said, "Well, if you're a boy, you will be able to do this and that." I think that's the only time he said that. No, that's not. And then the other time is when I started uh, to learn riding a bicycle, and I had to carry. So the situations like you can't put your bicycle outside and someone is gonna steal it. So I had to carry the bicycle all the time to the house, and every time when I had to practice or do something, and then I had to ask my dad to carry the bike for me downstairs, and then I could use it. And of course, sometimes he felt like he didn't want to do the work or something like that. So he didn't want to help me out. And he would be like, if you're a boy and you'd be strong enough to carry that by yourself. And I think that it was the one thing that really changed me as a girl. I started to do as much as I can without any help. And since then, I feel like I'm not a girl, or I'm not a woman right now. I'm more like a human being, and I want to do it if I can. So I think this is how my personality has been cultivated. And then I was trying to be more independent so people won't point their fingers at me. And I don't like when people do that. So to be able to get rid of this part, then I have to be really strong. And that has helped me a lot because okay, man, long story short. So what I'm trying to say is that when I started my first job, I never thought about myself as a woman. I was thinking myself as a capable human being. So I never put myself in that shoe that as a woman you're supposed to do this or you're not supposed to do this. And my whole life in middle school, high school, college, and after that, I always I was always thinking about myself as a capable human being. I do everything I was able to, and I still remember when in my university at that time we had to move from the old campus to the new campus, and then I couldn't find anyone to help me, and probably because I didn't really want to, and I was carrying two giant bags by myself. and I felt like it was okay. When I looked over, there are two guys carrying one big bag, and it's probably about the same size of my bag. And they were like, "Oh, I need a break. It's so heavy." So first of all, I'm not trying to say that all the guys have to be very strong or powerful and have to be able to carry everything. But what I'm saying that moment I realized that I don't have to be a guy to be very strong. I can just be strong. And if you remember, long time ago, probably many episodes ago, I mentioned this something about backhanded compliment, and that was a really long time ago. Anyway, so I said when people compliment you, they always say, "Oh, you're really good as a woman." It is not really the compliment, but people actually take it, and people actually think, "Oh, that is what you're supposed to say when you are trying to give compliments to a woman." But you didn't realize that they already put you at this level, and when you start to do work, and you're putting yourself at this level too. Not trying to say that being a woman is at a low level or high level, but I think gender is not the first thing you're supposed to think about. I think attitude is the thing you're supposed to think about. When you first start to look for a job, or when you start your new job or something like that, I hope you're looking for that, or I hope you're doing your job with a positive, strong attitude. So when you think about the job, you're thinking about I can do it, not because I can do it as a woman or as a guy, is because I can do it. I will try my best to get the job. I will try my best to achieve my goal as a human being, not as a woman. But of course, I've seen some of people when I was doing a training course, when I was training teachers, I've seen some of young teachers. They're very interesting. Not saying they're bad, but they're more like, oh, I can't do this because I'm a woman. Uh, that's when I couldn't figure out why you couldn't do it because you're gender, right? So there has to be a logical reason. When I was so same thing, not same, vice versa. When I was reading a book about RBG, and then she said, there's some examples of, I think, about like guys can't cook, guys can't uh, take care of baby, guys can't do something else like a housework or things like that because I'm a man. But first of all, you have ability to take care of babies, do housework, clean, wash dishes, or do anything like other women. And it's not about your biological identity. It's about a lot of your abilities as human being. So when you're looking for jobs, when you're doing your work, you're not thinking about as a woman, you can do so and so. As a guy, you can do so and so. It's more like, do you have that positive attitude? Say, I'm going to achieve that. When I started my first job, I never thought. So I wanted to do translation. So I always wanted to be a translator. When I started, of course, my parents said, well, if you are going to be like that, you might have to. I think it was with the corporation, and I had to travel a lot. And then my mom said, oh, as a girl, you won't be able to do that because there's a lot of traveling. But then I was thinking, why can't I do it? Why can't I do that? Like, is there anything that limit myself to do this job just because I'm a woman? So that had triggered me to think more that I can do it because I'm good, right? I can do it because I have the skills that required to do this job. I am not good, maybe because I'm not able to do this job because I lack some of the essential skills because I'm not a fit here, not because I'm a woman. Right? Same thing to guys. There are a lot of jobs like nurses and kindergarten teachers, and they look at you like, oh, guys can't do that because you're guys. Well, why can't you do it? But of course, there are certain things that women won't be able to do it and guys won't be able to do it, and you can't deny that. But I think most of the jobs, when you're thinking about that, you try not to think about, try not to put yourself in a female perspective. Try to put yourself in a human being perspective, that can you do it because you're good or not. So that's what we're thinking about this question when I was trying to figure out a plan or tips or advice for this. And then most of the people, when they are doing a lot of things, they're not thinking about attitudes or something, they're thinking about excuses. When they start to do it, the first thing they think is excuses. So, well, I had that moment too. I had that moment too. I think was trying to find a teaching job, of course, my first thought is, oh, they're not going to hire me because I'm not a native speaker. But that is not attitude. That is excuses. But okay, sure, I'm not a native speaker, but my English might not be good at that time. But if that's my weakness, can I overcome that? Can I improve it? Can I get better? Regardless of my gender, right? Regardless of my nationality. And of course, apparently, look where I am right now. So I definitely have overcome that. But at that moment, I gave myself excuse first before I start to take the opportunity. And that is not something you want. As a young woman, it is very hard to have that positive and strong attitude to take actions because so here comes another thing, that not trying to be judgmental, but to be quite honest, I think women tend to get more judgment, um, not only from other people but from us too. And I will start to judge myself uh, because I don't look good, because I'm not good, or because something else. Like we do that even before other people start to do it to us. And then, of course, the whole society will look at you in different perspectives, that because you're women, you always have period and you feel weak and you're emotional. And then when you get married, and then you're going to have to shift your focus to from business to family or something like that, because the default for us is that. And when people think about that, and for us, we have to really fight so hard to balance that view, to really make it fair to us, which is unfair because you probably have to put extra effort to achieve what guys normally would get, right? But would you complain? Of course, I sometimes complain. I was, oh, why do I have to work so hard? Like, why do I have to work extra hard to get what other guys actually just, walking and I get it? But that is excuses, because you don't want to be like that. For people, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a woman. If this is your goal to catch things, or if this is your goal to that certain directions, you don't even think about results. You don't even think about uh, as a woman or as a guy. You just focus on the steps that will help you achieve the goal, and that will really take you further than you think. If you only look at the results, and you'll be looking at what other people have achieved, but you ignored how hard they have worked. And of course, people would tell you that as a woman, there are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of difficulty to for you to go through to get what you want. Of course, nobody's gonna get it anything in an easy way. Well, maybe some people, but as a woman, we might have to go through extra hard time to get what we want. But what we want is, we look at ourselves and be positive and have that positive attitude to say, I want this, and I'm gonna go get it. And that's why you see there are great women in the world, in the history. They achieved a lot of things, not because they see themselves as a woman, because they see themselves as a capable human being. And I think that is when you can think about yourself, when you start to do things, when you start to look for things, when you start to achieve things. Well, I don't know if you ever heard this, but I heard that a lot when I was in middle school. I was actually a pretty good student, but my teacher said, "Oh yeah, in high school, uh, all the girls will fall behind and the guys will catch up or things like that." I don't know why they separate that group, and then there's never a reason for that saying, but people kept saying that. For me, of course, I was like, I'm gonna prove it, and I'm gonna prove you were wrong, and I did it. But again, I think that doesn't say anything. Well, there are outstanding guys. But there are also outstanding women. You can't just see things in this, um, what in this gender perspective because you're guys and because you're women. So come back to our looking for a job and what a kind of advice is. I think for you, you have to set yourself. You have to set a correct now appropriate tone for yourself to start. You are new graduate, you have certificates, qualification, you have skills, hard skills, soft skills, whatever skills you have. You think you're capable, you go fight for it. If this is what you want, you don't care about what other people think. And that is how you take the first step. Once you get a job, and what you can do for yourself is to work really hard, but don't hurt yourself. Because girls, or my young ladies and women there, you have to protect yourselves there. Nobody will, seriously, when it comes to protection, we are the one who can protect ourselves. So you protect yourself not only physically but also mentally, right? So you're thinking about, oh, because I'm a woman, I'm going to take more responsibilities, and then I will be more caring, more thoughtful because I'm a woman, and I will take care of everybody. And then you're going to burn yourself out, right? So don't be like that. Do what you're supposed to do and do well. Don't overdo it, because if you overdo it, they'll always come in and look after you. But also, you want to do well. When you want to do well, you want to do it properly and efficiently. So you don't want to be that kind of person who just picks on every single mistakes, but focus on yourself and on other people. Try to be a friendly person. Try to be not aggressive, but also try to be very um, striving. I think that's a word. Yeah. So this is how I did it. I think my first job working in a like studying abroad agency, I just make sure my stuff was 100% correct. My stuff was following my like my own system, and I developed a whole uh system for myself, like the sheets and like other things and forms, things like that, just because I want my work to be more efficient, and then I can learn more other than doing my job. And because I know at that moment that job was not something I wanted, I want to move on to a different direction. And then I got promoted uh, because of my performance there, and I was really happy. And I had a short moment of being in charge of the whole office or something like that. And of course, then I moved on, and I started from square one in Canada, being a student, trying to get in school, and then trying to find a job. And I did a lot of hard work. I remember when I worked in at the restaurant in the kitchen. Um, I didn't like the boss, and I didn't agree with her. But I think one thing she said: if they can do it, you can do it. So I was doing all the dirty work, washing dishes, washing, I think, exhaust fans and other things, clean the kitchen. And I couldn't lift a bucket of water to mop the floor. And then she was so mad. And then, of course, that was me being hard on myself. So I was trying so hard to prove myself I was able to do that. Of course, I couldn't. So that is a physical difference between a woman and a guy. But I don't think that something will destroy me because I just physically couldn't do it. But I can do my job really well. And then after that, because that job was kind of supporting myself, my life, right? And then I went on to do more volunteer things to help me get more experience about teaching. And I think from my first job to now, I never thought of myself as a woman. I just I just think of myself as a person who wants this job, who want to get it, and who want to do well, who want to eventually settle down, settle in, settle down. Yeah. So that is my advice: is when you are thinking about doing anything, not only about job, study, life, and your work, or any other things, don't think about as a woman. Same theory applied to that will be, don't think about yourself as a victim, right? So a lot of people will think, okay, yeah, it's not my fault because because I'm so weak. I don't have this. I'm so poor, you know. So people should show more support. People should help me or something like that. There's a no should thing. So don't put yourself in a victim shoe and then start from there. You have to really look at yourself in a decent way and a pep talk to yourself and say, yeah, you can do it. Not because you're a woman, because you're a human being. So that is my advice, and that's pretty much everything for today's video. Trying to keep it short and trying to speak really fast so my camera won't die, but I'm not even sure if it's still on. But anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Yes, I finally did that. And you know what? Today is my last day of work for this semester, and I'm gonna have, so my summer vacation will start tomorrow. Yes, and I will try my best to make more videos because I'm more available and have free time. Anyway, so hope you like this episode, and again, feel free to leave any comments, or if you have any questions, let me know. I'm really happy to, or I'm really willing to answer your questions. And for next episode, I'll think about it. Peace out.